In this video, we're looking at the games coming to Switch 2 this week. The list includes new releases, long-awaited games, and notable titles from a variety of genres. My goal isn't just to name titles, it's to explain what each game offers and what style of gamer is best suited for. If you're looking to pick up a game this week and spend some time with it, this list is for you. If you're ready, let's get started. The Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare bundle is out today for Switch 2, and this version isn't just a rehash of an old game. The first noticeable difference on the Switch 2 side is the fluidity. Slow-loading textures or stuttering animations aren't noticeable when navigating the expansive map. Open areas, long horse rides, and town transitions flow smoother. The game's pace is maintained, but the way it works feels more streamlined. On the visual front, textures are clearer, and the lighting is more balanced. The sky looks more natural during sunrise and sunset scenes, and night scenes are more readable. The image is more solid in docked mode, and while sharpness decreases in handheld mode, there's no distracting blur. The interface is well-tuned for the screen size. The minimap, mission text, and menus are easy to read even on a smaller screen. The controls have been well adapted to the Switch 2. Camera movements are smoother, and aiming feels more controlled. Menu transitions are fast, and the weapon wheel and inventory usage are fluid. The Undead Nightmare bundle, with its faster-paced structure compared to the main game, changes the tone of the bundle. It offers a more dynamic alternative to the classic Western experience. This version doesn't just play to nostalgia, it utilizes the Switch 2's hardware to better adapt the game to today's pace. Skate Story, described as a skateboarding game, is overly simplistic because its main focus isn't speed or movement, but atmosphere. The game features skateboarding in a world made of glass, and this sense of fragility permeates every aspect of the gameplay. The maps aren't designed just like tracks, but more like moods. As you progress, the locations become more alien and abstract. This distinguishes the game from conventional sports games. Skateboarding mechanics are based on a structure that requires muscle memory. It's not possible to move forward by randomly pressing buttons. Every move has weight and timing. Falls are a natural part of the game, not a punishment. It's a system learned through experience, and the game forces you to be accurate, not fast. This creates an initially challenging but ultimately satisfying flow. The story isn't directly told. Characters, dialogue, and the world offer bits and pieces, but nothing is explicitly revealed. The player can simply enjoy the skateboarding experience or delve into the dark narrative behind it. Assassin's Creed Shadows released for Switch 2 today, and this version doesn't feel like a simple remake. The game runs remarkably smoothly on Switch 2. There are no sudden freezes or sharp frame rate drops while navigating the open world. Maintaining performance, especially in urban areas and crowded scenes, makes the game more playable on a portable device. Loading times are also short, and waiting is minimal during map transitions and fast travel. Lighting plays a key role in the visuals. The sun's color changes depending on the angle, nighttime lighting, and shadows make the environment more vibrant. Colors are more saturated in docked mode, and the image sharpness in portable mode is above expectations. The interface is legible and text is easy on the eyes, even on a small screen. The controls are well suited to the console's architecture. Camera movements and aiming are clearer, and character movements feel responsive. Course sections are smoother, and transitions aren't stiff or choppy. The Switch 2 hardware demonstrates its ability to deliver a game of this scale on a portable device with stability. Rather than completely replicating the series' traditional structure, Octopath Traveler 0 chooses to start from a more personal perspective. This time, you control a single hero, and the story revolves around the idea of building a life from scratch, rather than the cliché save the world. The game isn't just about questing and traveling from city to city. Building, developing, and making your own town livable is also a crucial part of the process. Sometimes you add a character to your town, sometimes a building is unlocked, or trade flourishes. In other words, the world evolves as you progress. The combat system remains in classic Octopath style. The system of breaking weak points and accumulating power remains. It's not a game you can win with random commands. You need to know when to strike which enemy. The roster is large, and the number of companions is plentiful, but not everyone fills every role. Progress becomes difficult if you don't build the right team. The storytelling unfolds through short scenes and character moments. Instead of lengthy cinematics, a simpler yet more continuous narrative has been adopted. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, reviving the series after a long hiatus, aims to mature the existing structure rather than make radical changes. The game initially retains the classic Metroid Prime atmosphere. A sense of loneliness, the unknown, and a sense of discovery remain central. The maps are not linear, but rather intriguingly guide the player rather than constantly pushing them forward. Returning to old areas as new equipment is unlocked remains a crucial part of the game. The most striking innovation in this game is the addition of new abilities, such as psychological powers. These powers are used not only in combat with enemies, but also in interacting with the environment. Progress isn't simply about opening doors with keys. It requires understanding the environment in different ways. Fights are controlled and measured rather than fast-paced. Positioning, timing, and utilizing the environment are the primary focus, rather than reflexes. On the story front, the game progresses through clues rather than straightforward explanations. Instead of traditionally lengthy dialogue, the narrative is built through environmental descriptions and detailed explanations. This makes the game more meaningful for those who like to delve into its world, not for those who want to rush through it. Sonic Racing CrossWorlds positions itself as a game that takes the classic kart racing logic and goes beyond the just memorize the track principle. True to its name, the game doesn't revolve around a single world, but rather combines different universes within the same race. One lap you might be cruising through rolling green hills, the next you might be hurled into more technologically advanced or dark environments. This makes races not just about speed, but about adapting to constantly changing conditions. Character selection isn't just cosmetic here. Each character has a different balance of acceleration, handling, and special abilities. Some offer advantages on the straights, while others excel in the corners. This creates the need to tailor a character to your style, rather than simply pick the fastest and go. The equipment and power-up system isn't limited to collecting cards during the race. Pre-race preparation also becomes crucial. The tracks aren't just straight, narrow corridors. There are alternative routes, risky shortcuts, and hidden passages. Taking risks can give you an advantage, but you pay a heavy price. Nicktoons: The Dice of Destiny, instead of a simple platformer, incorporates classic cartoon characters into a more RPG-like structure. The game uses board game logic as a tactile system, but it doesn't leave everything entirely to chance. Character selection, abilities, and item usage significantly impact progression. So it's not just a game of rolling dice. What equipment you give to whom and when you use each ability become crucial. Each character's gameplay is distinctly different. Some are faster, some more durable, and some control territory with their abilities. This keeps the experience fresh when playing the same level with different characters. The map structure is non-linear, allowing for occasional revisiting and exploring. Small side quests and hidden areas break up the game's monotony. Attacking, evading, and ability use are straightforward, not complicated, but they don't feel superficial either. The game's tone is more playful than serious.
Of adventurers the land had ever seen!
Viewfinder isn't a puzzle game in the traditional sense. It's more of a test of your thinking. The game's premise is simple, but its execution is quite creative. Captured photos or found footage become more than just decor. They become a direct part of the world. When you take a photo of a landscape and place it on a wall, that image can transform into a real space. This transforms the game into an experience built on perspective rather than mechanics. The puzzles require neither reflexes nor memorization. Where you look becomes more important than simply placing the right object in the right place. The game's increasingly complex structure forces you to think differently with each level, but it doesn't challenge for the sake of challenging. It tries to provoke awareness rather than obfuscate. The solution is often right there in front of you, but to see it, you have to step outside your usual perspective. Farming Simulator Signature Edition isn't something you can pass off as a farming game. The game's primary focus isn't on explaining agriculture, but on establishing a sense of order. When you start, you're faced with limited resources, old machinery, and a slow pace. Everything here proceeds according to plan. Before planting a crop, you consider the weather, market prices, and harvest time. A wrong decision won't end the game, but it can set you back hours. Progress isn't measured by skill, but by patience. The time you invest in the game pays off directly. The livestock aspect isn't just the game's charm. Simply building a barn isn't enough. Without a balance between maintenance, feed, and production, the system won't work. This game isn't for those seeking speed, but for those who want to establish a system and see it work gradually. It will be more than adequate. A game about digging a hole, though its title might seem like a joke, has a deliberate design behind it. The whole point is simple: dig, sell your finds, and upgrade equipment. But the game's whole point is its ability to make this cycle strangely engaging. What keeps you engaged here isn't the story or the grand objectives, it's pure curiosity. The question of what will come out with another shovel stroke is the driving force of the game. As you delve deeper, new ore types, different soil layers, and more challenging areas become available. As you improve your digging speed, inventory, and mobility, the digging itself evolves. Tools like jetpacks become available in later stages, preventing the game from becoming monotonous. This game doesn't want to be a simulation. It doesn't aim to provide a realistic digging experience. Rather, it builds a simple yet addictive structure with the indie game mentality. That's it for this week's Switch 2 list. If there's a game on the list that catches your eye, leave its name in the comments and explain why. It's great to see what you prioritize. If you enjoyed the video, please support it with a like. If you want to stay on the channel, please subscribe. See you in the next video.
Now come on, let's untie those hostages.